Things are becoming extremely stressful at your drugstore lately. You cannot find a single person capable of doing his or her job well, and there are time pressures and deadlines. You find yourself working overtime. At the end of the day, you would like more than anything just to relax, but it's no use. Yo, I'll tell you what, that's how I feel about school. The more you try to wind down after work, the more the pressure gets to you. You're beginning to feel afraid that work has become such an overbearing responsibility that you'll no longer be able to enjoy life. Well, it's probably been about my 50th anniversary of working at Stop and Go, so I don't know, it does get kind of boring after a while, I suppose. Now, I'm gonna do something about it, because I'm resigned and depressed. Well, fine, I'll do something about it angrily. That's the spirit. What'll you do? Take a nice long vacation? A nice stiff drink? That's not gonna last long. Maybe 3 days. 3 days grace, am I right? No. What a splendid idea. Will you be doing a lot of sightseeing and other enjoyable activities during your vacation? You must be careful then. Some people plan complicated vacation itineraries that their relaxed time becomes just as filled with responsibility as their work time. Well, I'll be sure to balance it out. You have just passed through middle adulthood. During this phase of life, your body doesn't always respond the way your mind would like it to. A sore back after a hard day's work or sore feet and legs after a long walk are not uncommon. In general, you're very fit for a man your age. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about drugs or alcohol ruining your health. You seem to have negotiated your midlife crisis without becoming depressed. People you usually see you as an extremely wise person. They rely on you often for advice and are pleased with the results they get from interacting with you. Get a divorce! Thank you so much! The next phase of life is full of mixed blessings. You may feel old and lonely some days and cheerful and strong on others. Our society certainly has its share of prejudices against older folks, but you can have rich and rewarding experiences despite this. You'll have your chance to thumb your nose at people who think you're too old to live it up a little. After all, you were doing most of these things and enjoying them long before these people were toilet trained. Yeah, that's something I can brag about while I sit on the couch. Welcome to old age! Gee, what a welcome. It is not white hair that engenders wisdom. Highlighted. From Meander. That's an interesting name. 342 to 292 BC. Unidentified fragment. Well, that's probably the weirdest one yet. Anyway, now we are at the final stage of alter ego. I don't know what's wrong with my voice. I'm beginning to sound like Rod Stewart. It's weird. It feels kind of dry. Anyway. The thought occurs to you that it might be economical, practical, and convenient to putter around town on a small motorcycle. Not interested. Do not get a motorcycle. Save the flowers! Save the flowers! Do all the work you can, you're not doing such a good job so far. Anyway. Are you not interested because you're afraid it's dangerous and you might get hurt? If you're careful, you won't get hurt. Would you like to try one? No! Suit yourself. Well, you must have your reasons then. Okay. A young man walks up to you in the park and looks you square in the eye. Have you got a dime? He says. I'm suspicious. Do not give him the dime. I'm only doing this because I know what happens if you do give him the dime. You know that older folks are more susceptible to robberies and other violent crimes than younger ones. Perhaps this young man is trying to set you up. If you try to run away, he'll surely catch you. He's too large to fight. What will you do? Do something silly so he thinks you're crazy. I am a magnificent indigo elephant. Back off. No. Give him the dime and hope for the best. Time to get yelled at. You reach down into your pocket and slowly sort through the loose change. It's getting hard to discriminate the sizes and shapes of the coins these days. You finally find one that feels like a dime. You reach out and hand it to the young man who looks at you quizzically. Time! 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 Time, not the. That's not how you pronounce time. He keeps saying, your hearing is beginning to go. And I need a drink of water. It is a beautiful sunny day. There's a lot of outside work that needs to be done. And my voice is actually getting a lot better now. It's still filled with phlegm, but... Alright. Treat yourself. I'm alert. Try to do the work too quickly. The old steam engine isn't pumping as hard as it used to, and as a result, you get tired long before the job is done. I'll save some work for tomorrow. A wise choice. What's the hurry, right? Intellectual and physical spheres rise. A group of men are getting together and forming a softball league called the Senior Sluggers. In order to play in this league, you have to be 65 or older. The idea seems like a worthwhile way of getting exercise. No, don't join it. Because if you do, there's a chance of you dying. You might, I don't know exactly what happens because it never happened to me in the game, but other people have died from, like, falling and breaking their backs or something while playing, and I think they die that way. Anyway, sometimes older folks get bored with life and just wait around to die. They believe that activity, fun, and enjoyment are just for the young ones. This is unfortunate. Inactivity is probably one of the biggest causes of depression among older people because it causes isolation. If you don't do anything, you won't interact with anyone. This brings on loneliness and depression. Take a few more risks. Get out there and live a little. Well, I might not have been living a little if I had joined. I don't know. Maybe I was good enough physically, but... You've been thinking about calling up an old friend for a get-together. Perhaps you can discuss old times and have a few laughs. Yeah. Hey, remember when those guys punched us into the asphalt? Yeah, dude, that rocks. Where's the Rod Stewart voice when you need it, am I right? Anyway. Interesting, give him a call. The hunt for his number a while. Oh, you hunt for his number a while, then dial it carefully. It's so hard to see those small numbers sometimes. The voice on the other end sounds foreign. For a moment, you wonder who it could be. Probably a relative. When you ask for your friend, there's a long pause. That gentleman passed on about 4 years ago, he says. I'm sorry. By now, news like this is becoming routine. You spend the morning contemplating your own end. But I'll pick myself up. This is difficult, but in this phase of life, very necessary. You're a survival-oriented individual. It's easy to give in to depression and despair in this phase of life. Your positive attitude will keep you healthy and vital. So, how's I clicked on it again! Are you kidding me? Have an experience with the old wife. Late at night while you're still awake and Cindy is sleeping, you what? This already happened! Say nothing. Don't want to hear. Don't want to hear about it. Anyway. Okay, how's Michael? Well, goodbye, family. On occasion, you must rely on a public bus to get you to and from the places you want to go. Today, the bus is particularly crowded and you have to stand. You find an open area toward the back of the bus, where there's room to grasp a strong steel pole that extends from the floor of the bus to the ceiling. Your fingers wrap around the pole tightly. A fall could mean a broken hip or worse. As the bus moves, the shock of the gentle bumps is absorbed by your feet, knees, and legs. There's some discomfort. As a result, you lean forward slightly so you can take some of the pressure off your lower body. Your back then begins to ache. A little girl with chestnut-colored hair and freckles about 8 years old has been watching you wide-eyed for the past 5 minutes. Not long ago, her mother whispered something in her ear, to which she looked up at you frightened and shook her head. No! Honey, why don't you take your clothes off in front of that nice old man? After watching you a bit longer, she gets up from her seat, brushes it off with her tiny hand, and steps aside, motioning you to sit down.
Okay, accept it and be grateful. You realize that accepting the seat is a sign of neither personal nor emotional weakness. It's a simple fact of life. This child is young and in many ways stronger than you. She doesn't need the seat. As you sit, the relief spreads rapidly through your body, though soon your joints will begin to stiffen in this seated position. The child is looking at you with great relief on her face. Right. It's about time to get a medical checkup. No, this seems familiar. Perhaps you have the philosophy that staying alive long enough to live for another checkup is proof of another battle won. The doctor is young and intelligent looking. He checks your eyes, your tongue, your heart, and your limbs. You seem to be in fine shape. The doctor asks you some cursory questions about your lifestyle and your eating habits and sends you on your way. Do you spend hours on end eating Lay's potato chips? Why, yes, I do. Ah, I see. You, sir, are good to go. Do you want to know why? Because those chips are organic. While you're sitting quietly at a party, you notice a very pretty, very slim young woman in a short skirt bend over to pick up something she's dropped on the floor. I'm nice, I'll leave her alone. Seems like another incident that happened in school a while back. It's difficult to resist such temptations, isn't it? The sight of her firm round bottom brings back such sweet memories. Would you like to change your mind and give her a little pinch? Nope. Sorry. That's very admirable of you. The community council is searching for a senior member of the community to help fund, sponsor, and direct a community art auction for the benefit of some local charities. The project leader will have to donate about $5,000 in resources. Help with the auction, but do not become the project leader. Is this supposed to be like a bunch of flashbacks to previous events in my life? Is that supposed to be like symbolic? I don't know. Anyway. You might not be able to put up $5,000 for something like this, but your help is appreciated anyway. There will be a figure painting demonstration as part of the exhibits accompanying the auction. You'll be responsible for interviewing and picking out 3 nude models for the event. Well, that's quite cool. While driving the car one day, you notice the turns seem particularly sharp and treacherous. Careful, slow down. Your reflexes are not as sharp as they used to be. Driving used to be a natural thing, but now it requires every bit of concentration you can muster. You finally get the car under control at what you feel is a safe speed. When the tone was not supposed to change. Are you kidding me? A young man is tailgating and screaming in a loud voice. You can scream him back. Move over and let him pass. He zooms by you at what must be an incredible speed. Why do these young people do such dangerous things, you wonder? Well, it's probably normal speed, actually, and you're just being slow, but anyway. You've just read an article in the paper about the importance of making out a last will and testament. In pondering the article, you wonder if you should do yours. I'm concerned I'll make out a will. Now's your chance to get even, right? Only kidding. Who's going to get your major possessions, car, house, money, etc.? Some obscure charity. No. I don't have a girlfriend. Children. A child. When your will is read, how would you like it to be done? Have a videotaped session. Have the lawyer read it. Have a tape recorded message. No, have a videotaped session. Reading your own will. Very high tech, I like it. I'll bet you wish you could see the expressions on their faces. Who knows? Technology is developing so rapidly that maybe you will. A conference call from here to eternity, so to speak. Yeah, it's called Skype. While you're turning the pages of a newspaper one morning, you notice your fingers feel stiff. There are sharp pains shooting up the backs of your fingers and hands. Concern, see a doctor. The doctor tells you the stiffness in your joints is arthritis. It'll affect you most when the weather is damp or when you've just awakened in the morning. There's nothing that can cure it, but sometimes aspirin helps. This kind of ache is something you'll have to tolerate almost every day now. Jeez, I'm not looking forward to old age. You wake up as you have gotten used to waking up slowly and carefully and prepare to face the day. Try to do something constructive, cheerful. That sounds like a terrific idea. What will you try to do? Visit with a friend. Let's hope this works. Your desire to socialize and keep active sets a good example to others around you. Let me reread that. Your desire to socialize and keep active sets a good example to others around you. They see you as vital and independent. Might notice a new icon on the bottom, but I'm not clicking that one just yet. Right. I almost clicked on that dating icon a fourth time. You're walking up the front walk when suddenly the phone rings. You've been expecting an important call, and this could be it. Take your time. Nothing can be that important. Nonchalant. You take your steps one at a time with a short rest after every third step. You've learned to do things in this fashion by now. Individuals who survive this long have developed an adaptive style of living, emphasizing safety and control. You get to the top of the stairs and the phone is still ringing. You must search for your keys. Unfortunately, by the time you get through the door, the phone stops ringing. If it's that important, they'll call back. Right? Are you gonna be original this time? You and Cindy have had a good marriage up until this point. The local paper singles you out as couple of the year and sends you on a vacation cruise around the world. Bon voyage. Okay. That's satisfactory. That makes up for having to go through the same situation last time I clicked on that icon. Alright. You can keep ignoring my child, and I won't. It's time for another medical checkup. I'll go to the doctor calmly. The doctor is happy to see you. He likes you because you're such a good patient, and the two of you make small talk for a little while. He gives you the usual checkup. The results suggest the following. You seem to be in fine shape. The doctor asks you some cursory questions, blah blah blah. Same thing. Towards the end, that is. Anyway. It's about time that you schedule a visit with your dentist. Well, this is the first time this happened. Call him, go to the dentist. You have an excellent checkup. Your teeth are often a reflection of your general health, which in your case is very good. You know what? Excuse me. Oops. Your wife has become interested in photography and has signed up for photography class at the local high school. Her assignment for this week is candid photography. As a result of this, everything you do at home is accompanied by a familiar click. Yesterday morning, she snapped you just as you were rising and called the picture Squirrel's Nest Surprise. One afternoon, while you're alone in the house sitting on the toilet, the telephone rings. Let it ring. No, pick it up. Let me guess. A representative from a famous women's magazine calls to congratulate you on your sense of humor and your desire to see your wife succeed. Squirrel's Nest was entered in a photo contest and your wife has won first prize, $1,000. Cindy gives you half of it for being such a good model. Okay. In that case, I'll just have another wife experience. The same exact thing happened before. How about make a funny joke about it to the others? What kind of funny joke could you possibly make that would not sound mean and condescending? My life comes from a big family. Whenever anything was put on the table, it was every person for himself. Something like that would be cute and discreet, and that way you could insult not only your wife, but her upbringing as well. Some things are probably better overlooked. Well, now you guys know what happens if you choose a different choice. Now I'm going to click on this sunset icon. After a long but very relaxing day, with a deep sigh, you climb into bed and sink into the warm, cushiony fabric. As you drift off, feelings of intense serenity and well-being overwhelm you. Pleasant images of childhood visit, with sweet memories of mom and dad, school, and growing up. The memories flash by your mind's eye with startling reality. The smell of school on your first day. The outfit your very first girlfriend wore on your first date. You recall places you haven't visited for years in picture-perfect detail. Friends and neighbors who have gone on greet you. They are filled with excitement to see you, though you soon realize they're not communicating their joy in words. It's almost as if this will go on forever. Thank you for playing Alter Ego. You have died. And that marks the end of this Let's Play. now that you know what the sunset icon does, some people have done a female playthrough after the male version, choosing different options. I don't think I'll do that. There's other people that choose like all the bad options on a separate playthrough. If I were ever to do a female playthrough, that's what I would do. I would select all the bad options just to laugh at the way I depress the world, but it kind of gets to you after a while, so I don't know. Probably won't do a female playthrough. Instead, I'm just going to move on to making my countdown. So, this has been Lightning Manectric, and thank you for watching Let's Play Alter Ego.